The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah! This is Devious Dave Rose. Thank you so much for joining us here today. It's time for a little Kommunity Kerbals, Episode 2. Thank you for joining us here. As I said earlier, I'm just all excited, ready to go. And let me just quickly check a final thing here. Yeah, people in the chat so far. We got Irish Dave, the Junebug Experience, Danimal, and I thought I saw another name in there, but no, not yet at least. And there are 12 people watching. Glad that you could join us. Let's fucking have some fun here. So, what I gotta do now is... Oh, Chad, there he is, the man himself. Oh, I gotta transition, that's why. There we go. So now, transition to the game. And I'm gonna just get in the game. And I've got my phone running, so I'm looking at the chat here, trying to monitor it. But if you guys see somebody out of control in the chat, please take care of it. You guys know the ropes, so I don't really have to go explain things. Sorry, Ken, my mods are more competent than your mods. But all right, let's get down to business. When we last left off, YR tried to get to the moon, and he did successfully, but he got stranded there. His rescue craft, piloted by SC Steve and accompanied by engineer Junebug on the Mexicraft vessel, was able to land on the moon almost right on top of YR. Unfortunately, they also ran out of fuel. And upon several attempts, their rescuer, Devious Dave Kerman, could see that there was going to be complications. As such, last night, in the dark hours, far out in a deserted area of the planet, a very classified operation went down to test some new technologies. And we believe that this will assist us in rescuing these individuals. And I'm still debating about SC Steve. Shout out to Ron Booth in the chat. So, first thing is first. We have currently me in orbit on the DVS Avenger. And we have Clout 1 stuck on the moon along with Mexicraft. So, we need to recover myself. We're going to deorbit. We're going to get me back onto the planet, and we're going to go back to the newly fixed vessel. As I made clear to YR the other day, no expense will be spared to get these boys back home. Still have sufficient fuel there, sufficient supplies, I should say, on the moon. So they will be, it will be okay. And technically, it's only been about a day or so since they landed on the moon, and as such, they can last quite some time. In fact, normally Kerbals don't eat anything. Yeah, well, they're changing that in the games, but like they used to not require any food. Sort of like, I don't know, actually they kind of made it so that they were like plant life almost. So it's just like, you know, if they get a little bit of sun and stuff, they're okay. But what we're doing right now is just firing in retrograde so that we can essentially just slow ourselves down and fall back into the atmosphere. So now, what we've done is we've ensured that our trajectory is taking us down, but this tank is now empty, so we're going to fire that off. So those are now ejected even further, and they're going to fly on this trajectory. And what I can do is just wait till this point here, just a little earlier, and fire retrograde to basically bring us down closer and not so steep. Actually, not so shallow, I should say. So. SE Steve is taking a siesta now. So our ship is obviously descending now. I'm going to do a little fast forward. We're about 300 kilometers. Down about 150 close. Take that off. We're also watching our speed as well, and we're going to want to slow ourselves down slightly as we get more into the atmosphere. Although we have a ablative heat shield, which will protect us and the necessary parachutes and such, we still want to try to reduce as much of our speed as possible. So I hope everyone is having a good Saturday and you're excited to see the successful rescue of those stranded on the moon. And ideally also we're going to... Oh! Something else that's been worked on by that very secretive group that works in the military Kerbal complex. That the community rocket has actually is already in its building stages. And I'm hoping that you guys can watch and assist me a little bit because there's some very interesting features. We're looking at about capacity for 22 different passengers, so we know that that's sufficient amount of room for all those that are at least good in the community. Mars also had a great idea is to make the reject rocket, and that's what I'm calling it, but that's what he was saying. And that's where we put all the dumb people from the community, and we're going to rocket that into the sun maybe, or crash it into a mountain. So. As you can see here, we're breaking through the thickest part of the atmosphere. We're also firing our rockets in the hopes that we can maybe slow ourselves down a little bit more. About 20 kilometers up. That. Parachutes are looking good. See the drogues. 5. Surface speed. Bam. There goes. This also gives us a good idea how far the ground is, because this will tell us about we're at above sea level, but this is the difference between our distance. So we're this thing, the ground is almost about 500, I'd say, maybe more. No? Okay, so we're about a kilometer up. So this is off by 700, only because, again, it's above sea level and not the distance to the floor here, or the ground. But we got all the necessary parachutes, so this ensures we've now just tested our parachute system in extreme conditions, and we got to watch out for this thing because this thing's coming down. Yeah, we've basically proven that this weight, the amount of weight that's in here in these capsules, can be supported by all these different parachutes and can be slowed down sufficiently to ensure that that essentially everyone survives, which is the big thing. So let's go back and see this in full screen here. Looks like there's a part down there that's freaking out or something. And we've got this piece. Where's that piece? There's a piece up there. Something was falling. It might have passed us, actually. Yeah, probably did. So let's speed up a bit. There's debris down there. We're probably about 300 meters from the ground. We're landing on this portion of the planet. Oops. Touchdown. Excellent. So, oops, time warp. So we're going to go to the tracking station now. To the DBS Avenger, and we're going to recover. And obviously, recover the pilot. So, now we go back to our newly designed rescue craft. Also, we want to check where... Oh, hold on, what is this? Oh, that's... there was a tragic accident where most of the astronaut roster did die yesterday. It was, you know, very similar to the Challenger disaster. And, yeah. There's still debris out there to be recovered. On the plus side, now we have a lot of room for people to be Kerbals and be part of the Kommunity Kerbals. So, got to take the good with the bad. All right, so now we got to go. I'm just reading the chat here. Did you save wife or wire? No, not yet. No, that was basically what I was doing. Is I was getting my Kerbal back to the planet. So now, which one was it? This one, I believe. Yep. Yes. That. I'm going to rename this to DBS Avenger 2. All right, boys and girls, moment of truth.
Yeah.
I'm gassy. It preloaded this guy. And he's a good guy, Jebediah, but no. This is my responsibility to get them back. Can I come too? No, Bullfrog. You stay on Earth. I don't want anything fucking this up. Come on. Fuck you. Or I'm gonna fly into a mountain. Okay. Can you bring me back something from the moon? No. Gotta check where the moon is right now. I'm gonna wait till we're into a little bit of light. Say this. Yeah, this is probably the best time to launch. No. There we go. All right, so full throttle. We have SAS on. Devious Kerman, you have permission to launch. This rocket for even further exploration of the system because it actually has and I do apologize, I'm getting distracted by the rocket noise. It makes it hard to talk, I think. I'll get back to that topic later. Pay attention here. Our side rockets are almost ready to be ejected. So now what we want to do is we want to coast to that, to our apoapsis there, our highest point of the trajectory, and at which point we will then circularize, which will allow us to attain a stable orbit without going through too much fuel, at which point we'll be able to proceed with our progression to the moon. So I'm trying to stay on top of a lot of different things here. Paying attention to people in the chat. We're about 80, is it? Yeah. 89 kilometers up 90. And the thing with this game is that there is the need for finesse. You can't just rush it. You can't just try to time warp your way through things because you'll fuck things up. So, keep that in mind. So, this stage here is now completely used up. Perfect because it's huge and you want it to land somewhere away from a populated area. So now we're going to inject that stage, activate the next stage, and continue on prograde. Try a little ahead so that we can keep our apoapsis controlled, but really try to push this just to get into orbit quick. I want to conserve a little fuel here, so I'm going to wait till we're a little bit closer. It's been so fucking cold up here. So fucking cold. It just kills motivation and fucking makes everything impossible to do. Housework, fucking chores, like errands. It's fucking annoying as fuck. Alright, so we're about to circularize here. We should try to stick to about 160. We want it as close as possible. As equal as possible, I should say. So here we go. 155. When this starts to circle around, you'll notice that. Oof. 130, 160. That'll work. You can continue to waste fuel. I call it a waste, but you can continue to optimize your orbit, but we don't need to stay in orbit. We need to boost off to the moon. So we're going to be doing that probably on the dark side, but that will allow us to get to the area that YR is located. And sorry, I'm getting distracted here. And basically ensure that it's in sunlight. That's the big thing. We need to make sure that it's so much easier to do a landing in sunlight. So shout out to Bam6956. He says it's cold. It's only -4 there. Well, it's -10 currently right now. Today's the warmest day it's been in like a week and a half. It's been consistently -15 to -20 or more. And it just sucks. And we've been getting a fair bit of snow. Alright, so next step. Since we're here, I guess we're going to do a quick save. And we are looking good with fuel. Sorry, guys. Yeah, my house is really dry. Plus, you know, smoking weed at the same time, you know, doesn't necessarily help. All right. A little extra boost of the juice. And we're going to have to forward a little bit here, time warp wise. We're waiting for, as always, the moon to appear breaching the horizon, and this will allow us to spend as minimal fuel as possible and just get an optimized orbital encounter. My joint keeps going out as I keep talking. But damn, this stuff is so harsh. It's called, what is this called? Black Diamond. This is still the stuff that I think I got it early last week or the week before. I make my weed last substantially well. Just substantially long. And you know, as of late, I have been smoking more joints. Because, you know, with streams and stuff, it's easier to have that than to keep hitting a pipe and, you know, interrupting the flow, and you hear the click, you know how it is. Let's check our intercept here. A little while longer for that to appear, but at least we're now organized, or oriented, I should say, prograde, and ready to commence the maneuver. No. So how's everyone doing today? Everyone there in the chat, I see Sleazy Cyan. I still think I'm not pronouncing that properly. Nick was there, obviously. Music is relaxing. Especially when you're doing things like when you're just floating in space, even if it's like a probe that goes out, and maybe we'll try that as well. I always like doing that, making probes and trying to send them out and get them there's the moon, get them to get intercepted by the gravity, you know, as we normally do, and see if you can land either a rover on there or a portion of the probe. You can gather samples, for example. You can just, you know, plant that. Well, I think rovers can plant. I can't remember. There was a plug-in. But bottom line is that it's just another a foot stamp, I guess. Am I too stoned to remember the word? But yeah, basically, put your stamp on it, I guess. I'm pulling a Ricky here. Now I'm fucking sounding like Scott. Could be because I'm distracted and trying to save lives, mon! Okay, so periapsis, 2 and 9 million kilometers. This is what we're trying to do now. Okay, so you see this over there. Periapsis, closest distance through this orbit. So we want to reduce it as much as possible, but not go too crazy, because here we go, 9. Because if we miss it, then we just get shot out. We're still in the. Okay, so this planet's called Kerbal, or Kerbin. I think it's Kerbin, the planet Kerbin, and it's. If we got shot off, we'd still be in its influence, so that we would still continue to orbit it. But, you know, if you shoot off too far, you can actually shoot out of this gravity well and, you know, end up, like, just floating through the solar system without actually being able to get close to any planets. Can be very difficult. But it's also challenging, and nothing is beyond your grasp. So, if I was to, and look at how much fuel I've got left in this stage here. Now, if I was to wait until this point here to just use as much fuel and use the rocket's thrust to put me in orbit, a stable orbit, then there's a good chance that I wouldn't have... The momentum would keep, and gravity would throw me off, and there would not be sufficient thrust to keep me in orbit. So it's got to be adjusted as much as possible prior, so that if there's any corrections that need to be made, you have leeway. That's always very important. Obviously, yeah, 100, perfect. That's always very important when it comes to, obviously, space travel or things of high risk nature. That you need contingency plans, as well as that breathing room or leeway to allow you the ability to adjust for unforeseen circumstances. So I'm going to just take a little sip here. Thank you to all the 18 people watching. Glad you're spending your Saturday with us. Or pleasantly surprised, I don't know. Whatever, you're welcome here. As long as you're not starting shit or bringing, unnecessary problems. We're good. I do apologize, I am a little tired. I was up late last night, till 3, I think. Nikki was showing me the ropes of Apex Legends, which is a very cool looking game. Runs very nicely on my computer, despite my computer being somewhat dated. But you know me, I can tweak things here and there, and make miracles, as they say. So we are now fast forwarding, or time warping, as the proper word is. And I do like to go through transitions of these maneuvers, not of any other, without going through a time warp, because sometimes things can change. There's something that used to be referred to as the Kraken in this, and it was a game glitch. Okay, so the craziest things would occur. You'd get embedded like miles down into the planet, or get shot out into space faster than light speed. But the craft doesn't break apart. Very, very funny, cool things. But that was obviously in development. And I'd been here since version 0.03. Or 0.3, I should say. And they actually made sort of a tribute to it, because it's the players that called it the Kraken, but the game makers actually made a tribute to it. So there's a planet somewhere in this solar system, or Kerbal system, it's a sun system, that has like a dead Kraken, just like lying on the ground there, this big squid, octopus looking thing. Also, I think I mentioned this to YR, I'm not too sure who else, but there's a bunch of like alien artifacts on these planets. Monoliths, plaques, weird structures. It's really cool. At least I think it's cool. But hey, what do I know? So if we check up here, we're nice approaching. So this is perfect, because this is supposed to be our... You know what, I'm going to start using the proper words, or like the Earth-based words, so everyone understands me, because I hate going back to Kerbal and Kerbal. Okay. So, yeah, this is for lunar injection. And it did a good job. Did a very good job, because we still have this stage here. And then there's the lander stage fuel. So we're already getting to the moon with more fuel than we need. The thing is, though, the only difference that we did was add those 4 rocket boosters. The solid rocket boosters that you saw at the beginning, those gave it an extra boost, but after the main boosters separated. There's obviously, this points out there's some sort of inefficiency some sort of inefficiency because I added weight. This is why it's so important, and I think, when it comes to talking about this stuff, if you're serious about it, or just fun, if you're just into it. But, okay, so I added more weight to the rocket, and I changed, the only thing I did was change a step where I added those boosters, the separate solid rocket boosters, to come in not immediately but afterwards. And it seems probably like it's probably a weight issue and thrust issue, because at that height, I guess without those rocket boosters, the acceleration would slow. And by having the solid rocket boosters functioning at that point where it's critical for acceleration to continue, I'm thinking that that's probably what counteracted the losses from the heavy weight. And the cool thing is, you can actually, I think it's a debug window, but it's not the one that I've been pulling up. There's another one, but apparently you can monitor all these different parts and stuff and see how much stress is on them. I think it's actually in one of the separate buildings, but you can actually track, even as the rocket's launching, what parts are being stressed, what are aerodynamically inefficient. You can actually create these sort of, like in the labs and stuff, there's sort of a field around it. You can see that that's the envelope of air. So okay, so my phone is charging now, so I can't really see it with regards to who's in the chat. So I ask those that are present to please just keep an eye on that. Make sure everything is nice and cool. And actually, we will also take, I guess, suggestions, or if someone wants to volunteer to be a Kerbal, let me know. And we might have like a lottery as to who gets onto the community ship, sort of like the end of the world type thing. So let's get closer to the moon here. I like that we are at a nice, good, proper periapsis. As I mentioned earlier, there are not at this distance, but there are the problems of the mountains. So if you are coming in fast and low for a landing on the moon while you're in orbit, there's a good chance you'll run into a mountain, because it's happened to me. All right. I'm focused here, people. I got the right stuff. And this is a challenge as well, because of the fact that we have limited limited light to get there if we want this in one go. If not, I have to wait in orbit, and the problem is that the lunar night is long. Okay, so we've got 7 minutes supposedly. Now what we do is we're going to put ourselves in retrograde. Now the good thing is that it's not using any fuel right now, because there are these things called reaction wheels. And what they do is they generate centrifugal force, and like a gyroscope almost, and it actually gives the craft momentum, which allows it essentially to move itself using its own weight. And because obviously we do have sufficient electricity as well as solar coming in, we are able to accomplish that with basically zero waste. Stop looking so surprised, Devious. I know what I'm talking about. So we go back to the map here. 5 minutes game time. I'm perfectly fine with that. I want to be sure that all systems are go. Another thing that you may have noticed from landing the Avenger 1 capsule is that we are using 2 parts. And I've added these struts here to essentially fortify the joint, because it has happened where if you get enough force going against this, so if it's not falling, you know, equally onto the, you know, towards the ground, excuse me, this can actually break off. So if either one was the only one that had parachutes, one of them was going to be destroyed. You can compensate by adding more parachutes, but then you cover up you know, necessary areas, and it causes drag and other problems. So it, you know, it normally is recommended to be a good mixture, but by utilizing reinforcement here, you prevent that from breaking off, and you don't have to have because, for example, if without these struts, with the force of a drogue parachute, trying to slow this thing down coming in from an extreme angle at high speed, this thing will rip off. And the rest of the, like, yeah, it'll be safe, but the rest of the rocket, there it goes. Like the rest of the capsule, bye-bye. So it's really important, actually, to do that. Now, let's see if... oops, that's not what I wanted. Oh. Lights on. There we go. So we have all the lights on now. Main capsule. And our rescue capsule. Three minutes or so, we are pointing perfectly towards periapsis, or retrograde I should say. Periapsis in 3 minutes. I'm not too sure who I left in charge there at Community Space Command, but they better behave themselves and not cause me any problems for when I get back. Now, I'm happy with the 100. I mean, the 100's not bad, but we can basically start burning now. And plus, this will ensure that any portion here, if it's... yeah. Don't worry, I'm just mumbling to myself. Nope. That's not what we want. We need to make sure that our periapsis, come on. I want that at least at 50. If not a little bit more. That's why I like 100. 100, it's a little distant from the surface of the moon, but it gives you that extra breathing room. Problem is now this piece is going to stay in orbit. Well, hold on. How am I going to do this? Here's what we're going to do. We got to wait basically to... I got to change the orbit to anti-normal. And it has to be aligned with their landing site. Now, we don't have much time because the planet is rotating, but we should have sufficient. And we have, you know, the shadows won't be so long. It won't create a perspective problem. So this is where we got to be very careful with the time warp. This has to be precision. Now, if we take a look at this, I still have all this here with fuel. I'm going to have to eject it to get onto the moon because it's got so much fuel. So this gives a good idea as to what this rocket is capable of. Because of those 4 solid rocket boosters, this thing got to the moon with more than necessary fuel. But if there was a lander, well, if there was a separate component connected to this, it could still be utilized. So, for example, instead of an extra fuel tank, it could be a science lab, and it still has the necessary fuel to attain proper orbit. So I think we're good here. Let's point to normal. Shout out to Z the Reaper. Sorry, I'm not, my phone's charging, so I can't see my phone. While I'm playing this as well. Oops, no, so it was anti. My biggest concern is the sunlight, because just waiting in orbit for the site to come back into sunlight again is annoying. Okay, so we just, that stage has now expended itself. We're going to remain in that, shit. Oh, good. Alright. It was too close. We should, at that point, I should have used thrusters to move further away from the debris. So now what I'm trying to do, and we can do this now, we have enough fuel to play around. We're going to try to get the most perfect landing as possible. Unfortunately, we just have to, it is a waste, but we're going to go for a polar landing. Could have come around this way, but no. We're going to go underneath. Which is cool, actually. There's some anomalies, and what's very cool as well is that if you have a certain tool installed on this, it's a reading device. I could bore you about it, but basically you'll make a map of anomalies and of different heights, and it's like a radar and laser at the same time, so it maps the land out, and then you can, if you want, send that information back to the Space Command and so forth. But, okay, so now what we want to do is, we're still off, obviously. We're not exactly... Now we are. Oops, maybe a little too far. No, actually, we should be good. And now all we want to do is we want to go into retrograde, which will basically slow us down and bring this extremely high apoapsis down. And what we want to do is eventually it'll start to go into the land, and what remains will be our path. So it'll be like that. Yeah, looking good. Looking good. I'm not going to disturb them. They're probably sleeping still. We are in retrograde. Perfect. And we're just about ready. Actually, no. We are too far, because if I start to reduce this now, we're going to come in at an extremely steep angle. Extremely low angle. Okay? And that means that the surface, your speed versus the surface, is extremely fast. And prevents you from either making adjustments as opposed to falling top down. That would be a better way to control your descent and control the amount of fuel. When you come in skimming, and that's why they try to avoid this with capsules on Earth, is that when you come in skimming quick, with what they call a low angle of attack, you can skip right off the atmosphere and get shot right into space. And that has apparently happened, at least with Russian astronauts. So we want to probably wait till about here. Episode 3, I'm going to show you maneuvers. But we want to go here because then we can actually get a more stable, more rounded descent. So, just looking back to the phone here. Super Joint Ritual says, how about a bullfrog YR crashing into the moon? Strangely enough, Bullfrog did survive several encounters. No, YR, we are trying to actively save him. We could have abandoned him on the moon, but no. We're not doing that. I'm not sure if he's going to get on the community rocket. And Mars is the pilot for that. Somehow the game knew to give him the OG veteran orange suit. So I didn't tell it to do that. I just said, make the character, and boom. So it knows. And once we're done with this rescue, it will be time to celebrate. So that's why you're going to get the preview of this community spaceship. And I think you guys are going to be very pleasantly surprised. And in fact, I think you'll love it, because there's been some modifications, and it's still a work in progress. But there will be massive parties hosted on the rocket itself. So, let me just see here. Chat's looking good. Everyone's behaving. All right, let's get a little bit faster in time. Marty! I have to go faster in time, Marty! Okay, that's where I want it. We have a lot of fuel. In fact, this shows us that there's some sort of inefficiency. But there's also the fact that it gives us the contingency, that leeway, the wiggle room to move around and to adjust ourselves accordingly. So as I do this, we can see that the orbit's now going to fall into the Earth, or into the Moon. And again, this is not a bad thing, because we have enough fuel to play around. And we can tweak this to our heart's content, not worrying that we don't have enough fuel to return. I can't get any closer than this, but as we begin to descend from our apoapsis, we will be able to just adjust. We'll be able to see the landing site better, for one, and we'll be able to adjust our speed and our descent angle So this is not a bad thing. We've got, this whole thing is half full. And yes, is it a little bit of overkill? I kind of think so. I'm still, you know, with the mind that I have, I'm still thinking what's exactly preventing the original design from working, you know, to this extent. Because what little was added, there's something. No, I've got to just stop talking about that because I'm just a stickler for this sort of thing. I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a bulldog. I'm tenacious. I find a mystery, I chomp on it, and I just won't let go. Can't even fucking wrestle that shit from me. So let's see here. 330 meters per second, proceeding towards our landing site. We are slightly off. Actually, we are more pointed towards cloud. Actually, no, we are actually pointed closer to Mexicraft. See, now we can see it better, and now we can adjust it. So, since they're all located here at Mexicraft, we need to push the distance a little further north, I guess. So, we need to go prograde. From the RCS. And that's fine. We did overshoot a little bit. Overshoot. And now what we want to do is we want to go normal, I believe. So, or normal. Nope. Anti-normal is what we wanted. Trying to get this landing point here. We want it to go down this way, and then we just slow ourselves down and it brings it back. There we go. Boom. A little more. A little closer. See, now we can get a little closer, but we can't see that well. Problem. Our landing. See, camera. Is it camera or view? View. Okay. No. Sometimes you can change the view, but. I think this is as close as we're going to be able to get. Oh, there we go. Oh, no. Come on. All right. So, we need to go a little bit more. And let me think here. Yeah, we're going to do a little bit retrograde. So, our landing spot, which way is it? Oh, we're still approaching. Okay, so it's over here. We should see it actually as soon as it comes over the, because it'll focus on it. But as soon as it breaches the horizon, which should be any time now, we should actually be able to see it. We're looking fairly close. I mean, about 75 kilometers up. But let's see here. Our surface speed is about 344 meters per second, and close enough in orbit. But we still have, and that's actually. I'll mention my thoughts after. Sorry, guys, I keep going back to the efficiency of the rocket. And, yeah, I just can't let it go. But we are focused on the successful rescue and retrieval of the 2 previous expeditions to the moon. And it's so cool, the stuff that you can do, because you can actually build a base on the moon if you wanted to. You know, just like whatever fucking pictures NASA has showed you in the past. you could build that stuff. There's just so much. I mean, the mods themselves are crazy, but they just keep. They actually hire some of the mods to the people who make mods to work for them, because they're like, yeah, we want that feature in our game, and so it's like, you work for us now. So very cool stuff. Was that still nobody in the chat? I guess everyone's just watching. All right, just examine here. So yeah, we are a little off. That's fine, because we can adjust it still. Not that far off. Let's see here. You know what? We're going to keep it like that for now. We're going to have to eject this, and we don't want it falling on the astronauts. Plus, once we eject this, we've got more than enough fuel on this thing to get down and adjust ourselves accordingly, as well as to get off the planet and get back home safely, with probably a fair bit left over. So I'm closing the solar panels, or satellites as Wire calls them, because in case of any rocking or an unstable landing, or potentially any sort of debris or landscape near it, I don't want to risk losing them. Now, we do have this battery pack here, which, again, we did overkill, but it's always good to have backup with solar panels. So we are still proceeding towards the landing site of Mexicraft. There we go. We have visual. Latino Loss. That is the landing site of the attempted, or the failed rescue mission. It was attempted, but it was failed. Let's be honest. And yes, there is some controversy right now about the lead director of Community Space Command, but that's why he is on the ship himself, holding himself accountable to ensure that certain people can return back. Still not sure about SC Steve. Now the thing is, I don't want to wait till the last minute to eject this core part. We want to slow down. Now this is going to bring our landing site closer, which is fine, but what we want to do is we want to try to reduce our speed. What we don't want is massive deceleration as we approach this. It makes landing much more difficult and white-knuckled. And essentially, if you get good at this, you can slow yourself down enough where even if you have this rocket, this portion that's not made to land, you still have this lander, you can make this basically vertical, and it will, you can just puff it out, use the throttle to just use enough fuel to just make you skip almost without touching the ground or anything. So yeah, you can get good at this. I personally recommend, if you like this sort of thing, to buy the game. You can find free previous versions of it on the internet, and it doesn't seem like, and I think some of them are actually downloadable from their sites. So technically, there's nothing wrong with using a a previous version that still functions fine and just doesn't have the latest features, but it's available for free and they're aware of it. So all right, so we are building up a substantial amount of speed, 28 kilometers from the site. So this is where I want to reduce as much of the speed as possible. Beautiful. Now, we are further away, but that's fine. Why? Let's go to normal. Actually, no, we want radio out, wasn't it? Yeah, see? You can do this. So you still have forward momentum, but you've reduced it. Now, obviously, we're still going, so we're falling. But by doing this... Oops. See, now it was too much. Now we're going up a bit. But we do... Let's see here. We're about 9 kilometers up, 14 kilometers from the site. We're going to do a little bit more of skipping here. Right? This will make sure that we're not in a steep dive. We are still approaching the site, but we're going to pass it slightly. That's fine, though. We don't want to be landing here. We want to land as close as possible, but still in a nice flat area. And we want to be able to raise our altitude a little bit here. And I'll show you why. Okay, so we are moving a little closer here. Now it's time. Retrograde. Little boost. Now we kill our surface velocity. Okay, this is done. Perfect. Why? Because now we can fire away and it's not going to land on anybody. So, I'm starting to think that, yeah, this is... was it H? Gear down. We want it. So we're killing our surface velocity as much as possible. I'm gonna switch this around. Alright, so now we're basically pointing right down to land. And that's fine, because if we take a look here, we're close by, and we don't have to... Now it's basically not controlling any surface velocity, it's just straight down. We are obviously moving a little bit to the surface, but basically we are in the perfect position to make a nice landing. And I'm going to leave it like that. I know that we're a substantial distance away. Actually, you know what? I don't want to waste that. So, how much mono? Okay, let's do this. Activate RCS. We're about 13 kilometers up. Yes. I'm trying to move closer. Using just the thrusters. Now we are going 125 meters per second, increasing. And we got a nice amount of fuel. Also going to use some mono propellant to slow us down. Also have to be mindful about our distance. I know this says 7 kilometers, but like I said, the radar tracking is different. Because some of these mountains are above, or these surface areas are above what they call, what's it called? Sea level. So this is the tricky part here, people. We're going to make them walk. I wish I had a bigger screen. This is smaller. I don't think they've made it a way to make it smaller yet. I haven't seen it. To stabilize. We are stable. Whew! All right. We have successfully made it to the surface of the moon. Ready to rescue the survivors. Yet Jarford the Third makes a good point. Tips are very sensitive in zero gravity, experiencing the bulbous head. All right, so that deserves a little joint here. And since we're on the surface in the sunlight, we want to take advantage of this to make sure that our batteries remain functional. And, oops, wrong spot. This is kind of cool. Check it out. Hold on. Extend the ladder. It's got its own light. And there's another ladder down here. Extend ladder. And I will now EVA and proceed down the ladder to plant my flag. There's our beautiful Avenger 2. Oh, didn't get this one out. Oh, I can't do it from inside. Okay. They're from outside. Trying to keep my eye on the chat as well while my phone charges. Should be done charging soon. All right, so we must plant a flag. No, stop it. All right, Dave, come on. Stop fucking around. Get up. Get up, you son of a bitch. Hello, this is SC Needy. I'm calling you. Is our rescue ready? When is the tribunal? SC Steve, I'm in the middle of something here. Do you mind? No, but I know you're in the middle of a rescue, but when is the tribunal? Okay, did you think that, you know, you wanted to return back to Earth, or do you want to stay here on the moon? No, senor, please, unblock me. Unblock me from Twitter. No, I have you blocked on Skype. Unblock me on Facebook, then. You're not listening, are you? ¿Qué cosa, senor? I don't understand what you say. Alright, I'm gonna cut you out of the communication. But search! Now, let's plant a flag. And on this flag, we shall write the following. This will be the community rescue. 1, I guess. Director of Community Space Command, Mr. Devious Kerman, aka Mr. Consistent, kept his word and returned to rescue the rescue mission. And wire. Still not sure about SC Steve. All right. So, I'm going to head back into the vessel and just radio the boys that they can head on back. Hopefully SC Steve isn't having a siesta. I'd be very heartbroken if he missed his rescue opportunity here. Oops. Try that again. You can jump fairly... You can jump a lot higher on Minimus, which is the second moon. Oh, come on, you can do it. No, not on the... What are you doing there? Dave, get off the fucking... What are you doing? Stop it, you idiot! Making things more difficult. Always making things more complicated, aren't you, Dave? Always more complicated. Just get on the fucking ship already, okay? Come on. Okay, there you go. See how easy that is, Dave? Come on. And now we board the top capsule. Alright, so let's extend this one. Actually, well, we'll do that for now, because when we launch, we do not want those open again. There can be things that can go wrong. So, since we're good here, we're going to do a quick save. We have sufficient fuel to get back home and then some. And we have monopropellant to help us do just about anything. I'm looking at the chat here. Commander Armin of the SS Orgasmo, leave SC Greasy behind. See, but if you were of right mind, you wouldn't have to use a fake account to comment on something that doesn't belong here. So, Jerifor the Third, you got the honors. Now, radioing to, this is Devious Kerman, in the Devious Avenger 2 radioing YR. This is YR. Go ahead, Ken. We're ready to pick you up, so if you just don't mind walking or flying about 5.2 kilometers, we'd greatly appreciate it. Actually, you'll probably have to walk YR because yeah, there's no fuel left in your RCS. So, damn it, Ken. All right, get your asses here quickly, and I still haven't decided about SC Steve. So now, what we do is we go to our tracking station. Yes. And we're going to go to the Mexiclout. So there's, well, there's YR, and there's Junebug, and there's SC Steve. So, YR still wants to do a little investigation with his space weed. So Junebug, a very necessary individual in the community, a very intelligent one, who is one of our well-known engineers, will be proceeding first towards our rescue site, and with the use of his rocket pack, we'll be able to make it there much quicker. Go, Junebug, go! It's too close. It's too small for me to see. So right now I'm going to monitor the propellant here. Again, if we're going too fast, you die. So we're basically level with the surface. And we're going to keep trying to... We're not going to adjust our forward momentum, but we are just going to keep trying to, like I said, skip. So we can take our time. We don't have to worry too much. Don't worry, Junebug. We're only 2 kilometers away. You can make it. And after the disaster that happened last night, I did mention this to you earlier. It was similar to the Challenger. The shuttle that launched carried about, I think it was, how many did we lose? Probably 10, I think. And it was called the Hurdler. The Hurdler, you know, because there's a lot of hurdlers. You gotta jump those hurdles. It's just herds. So... Strangely, we lost a big portion of the astronaut roster, and yeah, there's an internal investigation going on right now. But some are speaking conspiracy, and our administration is determined to prevent any talk of conspiracy whatsoever here. After all, it's perfectly normal when you lose half your roster. But like I said, you know, we are looking for new hires, and obviously these positions will be provided, or at least people will be favored if they're in the community, because after all, our cronyism is perfectly fine. Or nepotism, if you will. Almost there, Bullfrog. Or Junebug, sorry. Too many people with names that are bugs and frogs and lions, tigers, and bears, oh my. But he's looking good on the fuel. About half a kilometer away. I gotta disable that feature. Ugh. Stupid Windows with their fucking sticky keys. Well, you made it almost all the way, Junebug, without tripping up, so that's not a bad thing. Alright, so, let's continue. There used to be a way to just leave this guy running. And I can't remember how it changed. Come on, Junebug, you can do it. This is where we need the Chariots of Fire music. Dun 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 dun. I know Junebug would probably know that stuff. Junebug knows stuff that he shouldn't know. He knows about music and fucking stuff that's from my time. And the guy's like at least 15 years younger than me, I think. But yeah, he must have. I think he has access to a time machine because he's too knowledgeable of the 80s. Too knowledgeable. Junebug, you're almost there, buddy. Almost there. Now your own personal capsule. And it's probably got that new... Oh, you're not supposed to be in there. Oh, no. Okay, it's good. So it's the different capsule. Good. Let's see here. So, Junebug... No. I didn't say that. Junebug, please listen. Just get on the ship. There you go. I was trying to tell you, Junebug, that I do apologize, but I do think that there's still that new ship smell, that new spaceship smell. So I do apologize. But yeah, please inspect the cabin. Yeah. Hopefully it's to your liking, nice and clean, sanitized, and you get the front spot. You get to watch out the window. Although this is usually for the pilot, but you know, I'm flying this one, so you get the best seat in the house. How about that, Junebug? So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back out. And we're going to go to the tracking station again. Why? Because we got to get YR to the station, to the rescue ship. J.R. Ford III says, was possibly an SC sabotage. Greasy buttons and levers could have caused a malfunction. No, well, he wasn't on Earth. He wasn't on Earth when this craft was created. All right, let's get back to the Mexicraft. And perhaps the Mexicraft will remain as a target for any orbital bombardments that we want to attempt with our experimental technologies. Those are always fun. Okay, so YR, get your ass to the fucking Mars. What, Can? Just go. Okay, Can. Don't do a tribunal on me too, Can. Not Ken. Come on, Can. I know you can. And let's see here. Oh, so you were smart enough to recharge on your monopropellant. Come on, Ken. I'm not that stupid. I mean, I like the crack and stuff. So, and the math. Well, that makes sense. So, get your ass to the ship, and then we'll still have to think about SE Steve. Maybe is he having a siesta right now? Yeah, Ken. He's sleeping again. Why do you sound like Bullfrog now? Come on, Ken. I'm just fucking around, Ken. Come on. All right, man. Well, we need you at least back on Kerbin. Plus, I promised you. I said we were going to save you. I told you that this was going to happen. And I told you I'm a man of my word. And we all know that I'm Mr. Consistent. As much as it boils the balls of, you know who. Come on, man. What did you say my name, man? Okay, Scott McKinnon. Come on. Fine. But, yeah, so I told you I was going to save you. And we're going to fucking save you. How about that? Now, we are going to overshoot just slightly here, but what we are going to do is be able to come in nice. Yep, there we go. There's our retro. All right. We don't want to go. Yep, there we go. There we go. Okay, so what I was trying to do is kill the surface velocity and just give us a nice down vector, which would basically just ensure that we can pop in right in front of it. So I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to do this, but hold on. Or that he was going to be able to have his fuel reloaded, but I guess they fixed that feature, because anytime somebody that goes, anybody, man, why can't I fucking talk? When you use up all your monopropellant for your rocket pack, and you go back into a ship that is powered up, you can basically recharge it. But there were problems in the past where it wouldn't do that. So, we got nice and close there. I really wish I remembered the key for running. So, well, actually, to be honest, I need some advice here. Do I wake up SC Steve from his siesta and have him return with us, or do we leave him on the moon permanently? I mean, I know YR will be pissed because he lost another easily manipulated seat-warming co-host, but he might, might try to cause problems with the locals on the moon, and it is sort of our responsibility that he did get there to the moon. We don't really want them thinking poorly of Kerbals just because of one, shallow-minded individual. Pick up the speed wire, come on. All right, people, come on, moment of truth. What do I do? Do I fucking bring Steve back, or do I leave him on the moon? Oh, thank God, Ken. I'm not used to running so much, Ken. Come on, Ken. Oh, Ken. Ken. Oh, thank God, Ken. Thank God, Ken. Oh, my God, Ken. Oh, no, Ken. Ken. Oh, thank God I'm inside, Ken. Oh, hey, Junebug. Hey, Junebug, Ken. How you doing, Ken? Oh, thank God I'm safe. I'm safe. Oh, God, thank God. Thank God. Where's my crack? Where did I put my crack? Oh, my God, Ken. Oh, thank God, Ken. So now we have 3 people. Let me go back to the chat here. So, Jared Ford III says, get him. I assume that he wants me to bring SE Steve back with us. How about a J.R. Ford malfunctioning rocket? Call it the Impotent. Why are you hitting... Oh, so are you admitting you're Scott then? Like, I mean, the only person that I know that has an issue with Scott, with J.R. Ford III, and makes fake accounts, is Scott. Because that's all I really know. J.R. Ford, at your discretion. Now, seems to be that J.R. Ford also shows that he is kind, because he is in fact recommending that we save SE Steve. Now, I'm not a charity, but I have worked for them. This is the debate of the century now, isn't it? Let's see. Let's go to the tracking station as we think and ponder the fate of SE Steve. After all, he was supposed to be awake at this point. He knew that he was going to get a rescue, but as all Latinos do, or most, actually, to be honest, as a Latino, it's not everyone. And I can say that. But, yeah, this penchant for fucking taking naps at the most opportune times, or inopportune times, I should say, it really brings productivity down, in a work environment. And I know that's not a problem if you're, selling oranges there by the interstate. But if you're going to be working in an office environment and not, like, shingling roofs and shit or cutting lawns, then you got to be fucking professional. And that includes fucking not starting your truck or your spacecraft with your phone, with your crappy Obama-style phone, and being totally unaware of your sounds. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to save you because J.R. Ford III, has indicated that he would like to see that, further extending his proof of how great of a person he is. So consider that charity to him, or charity from him. So now you owe him something. Maybe cut his lawn for the next year or something for free. Well, not for free, like you owe it to him, but like, something like that. Something you're capable of doing. All right, so let's get back to Mexicraft and pick up this mestizo. Although he is the superior mestizo of the community because obviously the inferior, his clone, His clone turned out to be like worthless, fucking garbage genetic mistake clone. Jacob RP literally is the clone of SE Steve, but he's like, he got everything bad. Like that clone just failed. It just, everything was a fuck up. So like you can't even consider it a proper clone. All right, so SE Steve, have you woken up from your siesta? Sí, señor. Just having some café con leche. Okay, so just hurry the fuck up and get to the ship. Okay. Did you hear about no hard feelings? Just shut the fuck up and get to the ship. Okay, senor. Okay, I'm just joking. Okay, I'm just joking. Now we got to get to the ship. I don't know where it is. Where are you? Where are you? You didn't leave without me, did you? No, we're still here, Steve. You're just a dummy. But I don't see on me map. My mommy, I don't know what to do. Alright, well, activate your rocket pack. Okay, the rocket pack is activated. Alright, shoot up. I'm doing that already. I didn't tell you to do that. Oh, come on, senor, come on. I mean, like, what's going on? I do find this curious because I do not see the site personally. And okay, so it's that way. Set as target. That's weird. This doesn't make any sense as to why it's telling me I'm close to the target. Yes, kindness from the devious one. I do have my moments. Why can't I see where the fuck he went? So this might be a glitch, but... Okay, so he's there. I need to fucking... I need to be facing... west. West. Hold on. 90 is... We're looking at 270. Yeah, that should be west. Oh, there it is. I think that's where it is. Oh, no, that's my landing spot. Okay, hold on. 28, 40. I need to go straight west. That's 270. No. Yeah, 270. I think that's my landing site. As in, I think that was the rescue site. The first rescue site. Attempted rescue. Yeah, it is. This is what I want to... Why is it not fucking doing it right, though? I don't know. This thing is a... I know this is west. And the target thing is not working. It should be... Yeah, it's west and north. That's why. Oh, I see Steve died. Well, that wasn't intentional, but hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I mean, technically, he couldn't find the spot, and maybe it wasn't a glitch, but I don't know. I tried, and you're just gonna get it. Yep, S.C. Kerman was killed, crashed in the terrain. So now we're gonna go back to the tracking station. And we're going to go to the Devious Avenger 2. There won't be any funeral, no service. He will be forgotten to the sands of time. It's the brakes, buddy. It's just the brakes. I didn't intend it. It's just how it worked. All right, gentlemen. Are you guys ready to launch from the planet? Or launch back to Kerbin? Yes, Ken. Absolutely. It's my best June book. All right, so, gentlemen, strap in. We're getting the hell out of here. Activating SAS. Retracting solar panels. By the way, I'm doing this, I've been doing this the lazy way. You can do hotkeys, so like, you can just program your entire keyboard to do everything. So one key will get these things closed. But that's when I start to get more advanced with you guys. I'm going to keep things a little simple. I think you guys are going to like the maneuvering too, where you can adjust your maneuvers and just wait for the timing and then just execute it. Very cool stuff. So before I launch, I'm just going to check the chat here. Terraforth the Third says, sadly, not sure what about, a real snobber lock, a real knob slobber. RIP SC. Rest in peace, señor. Alright, so we still have some sunlight left, which is perfect. And it's only been about 1 day or so. And 1 hour, 37 minutes in the attempted rescue. So these guys, you know, other than SC Steve, have fared fairly well. So what we're going to do now is we are going to launch. And unfortunately, we're going to be in a highly angled orbit, so we're going to have to adjust that. We've got more than enough fuel to do so, and once we do, we'll be able to slingshot back to Earth, and there will be a great parade for us, and I can't wait. We're actually going to have the Kerbals lining the streets, and we'll have the 2 rescued individuals paraded on a little rover as they drive through the streets to celebrate their return. Here we go, liftoff. We have liftoff. And we want to attain a nice altitude of about approximately 30 kilometers or so. There we go, and move to prograde. And once we achieve a proper orbit, we're going to circularize ourselves. And we are mindful of the fuel. We're not going to waste any. To what do I need to do here? I need to normalize to the anti-normal, right? Yes. This is fucking hard. Oh, I hope I fucking quick saved. It's that little extra boost. This will also lower our mass, so it allows the fuel that remains to give a bigger push to the ship, and thus less fuel is required. We're almost at apoapsis. This is where we're going to need to be able to get into orbit. Good. Whew. Okay. See, our orbit's fucked up. And we have limited amount of fuel. It would take, there'd be so much. Fuck. There's going to be a lot of fuel required to just correct our orbit before we can even return. And I don't think that's enough. I don't think we've got enough monopropellant to do it either. Oh my god. Point to normal. It's worth a shot. Let's see what I can do to salvage this. Need to be Unfortunately, it's not going to work. Alright, well, we're back on the moon. And we're going to try to save them all again. This time, though, we're going to fly to them. Because I'm getting kind of tired of this shit. Stuff's supposed to fucking do what I tell it. And... set as target. Where's the information? I don't know why it's not telling me where they are. That's weird. Okay, well. We had visual before. I don't know why it's not showing. Well, YR, SC Steve got a second chance on life, so just go with that. This is not supposed to be happening, because we should be able to see it. So am I actually landing there? Where the is that it? Looks like we found it. Got a good descent rate. Okay. Finally down. Good. Shut that engine. Now. go to these assholes. Back to the Mexicraft. To the tracking station. There you go, Mexicraft. Take a look to where it is. These things should be right next to each other. Let me quit out to the menu, see if it fucking forces this. So let's see how this works. But at least I found the site. I think what I'm going to do is go back to tracking site, go back to the Avenger 2, because I think something might be going on there. Although I don't remember leaving anything on. Probably was that. Okay, so we did see them in the distance. Back to the tracking station. Someone want to buy me a pizza or something? There's the site. Alright, Junebug, get out. Let's do this. Here's the site. Let go. RCS on. RCS on. Really? Son of a fucking bitch. Alright, Junebug, get in. We still have to get YR and SE Steve in. It seems that Providence has favored SE Steve, so he's got a new lease on life. Preferred spot goes to Junebug. Nope, Junebug, get in. Stop it. Stop fucking around. There you go. So now we're going to go back to Mexicraft. We're going to switch to now YR's turn. Can there it is. Why aren't you pointing in the right direction? I don't think you could handle multiplayer on this game, YR. You actually have to do things. Use intelligence to figure out an engineering task, for example. Oh, YR. Get up. Just one more person to rescue. The issue is the launch here. Just to get it into a proper orbit, because it's at the worst landing site possible. Alright, so last but not least, so I see Steve is now out. Alright, so we're just about ready to launch. Alright, so we have everyone in the craft. We're just going to retract all our solar panels here. Reactivate our engine. And now take a look at where we're at. Our launch needs to be north. Okay, so we're going to go for a 90 here. Alright, well, Godspeed, gentlemen. So let's see, does this have the ability to make this? It's not gonna work, guys. God damn it. Okay, well, I'm going back to the drawing board. And we're going to make this work somehow. If I have to land a larger craft on here with more fuel, whatever. These people are being rescued. But that'll be the end of this tale of the rescue, but I still promise to show the community rocket. And yeah, so disappointing. Fucking unreal. Alright, so let's take a look at the community rocket. Community rocket, an ode to Mars. So, we have a capsule here for the shuttle. I can dock at any point. Actually, there's a problem with this. Okay, weird. Alright, so we've got this unit here, which takes 4. Then we got this unit here, which takes about 16. And then, and still not done yet. Then we've got the following. We've got the party place, where you've got a seat up here for the DJ, and then you've got the stripper pole below there with the lights shining on the stage and the pole. And here's the champagne room down below, but there is fucking allowed there. 0 G fucking. So that can take 2 people. And some fuel, battery, and nuclear reactors. Well, they're basically radioisotope generators, but for all intents and purposes, there's a lot of radioactive material here, so that's why the fuel and the battery are shielding the containment, the compartment here. And have a lot of RCS in this, more fuel. It's going to be a big rocket. It's going to rocket all around the solar system with parties going on and Kerbals all flying around. It's going to be a hell of a time. But something like this might require a little bit of cheating. You know, a few adjustments here and there to get this thing into orbit, but even still, this will be quite the the big rocket here. Look at this thing; it's fucking huge. Okay. Community rocket for the ones that matter, and you know, I'll put engines on here, but I'll probably add like some other engines and stuff on here because we want this to be sort of like a, you know, just like a big cruiser, you know, sort of like, I don't know, like not necessarily like a Star Destroyer, but, you know, a big, long, scientific-looking thing. And plus, maybe we'll make the fuel tanks look like balls. Like bowls. So, it'll be a big phallus. And this is where all the good people from the community get to go party. And Mars is the captain of this ship. And yeah, this is where all the ones that are going to survive will go. But I'm actually feeling like making a little rover right now. So let's make a rover. This also sort of shows you how easy it is to do something like this. So let's save. We'll call it I don't know. I'm starting to get hungry personally. Cloud cart. So that. Actually, no, we don't want that. Exit this, don't save. We want a vertical, horizontal launch site. As such, we'll go to the space frame, or space plane hangar. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get something to eat. I'm fucking starving. Can't think straight. Cloud cart. Actually, I think I know where we're going. Oh, by the way, for those that bought the alfajores that I recommended the other day, I'd love to hear your experiences with them and what you thought. We're going to attach some batteries. Isotope generator, and again a seat there, stairs. So next here. Swing out the wheels, generator. Should be good. Let's crew this with Bullfrog. Alright, Bullfrog. Oh, Bullfrog's not a pilot, so that's why I can't do it. Oh, there he is. He's a tourist. He can do it. Alright. Let's launch it. Wow, already it's evident that he's so fat he's actually sort of bringing the craft down. And it's actually got one wheel off the ground, looks like. 2 wheels maybe. So, let's see what happens. You idiot. Your weight just... You destroyed this. And, hey, I told you to stop. What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't... Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You broke the new vehicle that we made for you. You know, like, you've been lying about your weight, clearly, because if it wasn't for that, you should be able to ride this. Now we gotta go back. And we gotta go fix this. So, we got too much weight on the front. Let's move you to the middle there, fatty. See if that fixes things. I know it's right next to the reactor, but you're never going to breed with anyone anyway, so it's not like the genetic problem will be extended. Oh, I forgot to pilot it with Bullfrog. And now the back is a little bit... Okay, well. Revert once more. Seriously, Nicky, fucking Bullfrog. Okay, so there we go. Us in the middle. We're gonna crew with Bullfrog. I'm going to see how well... I know he doesn't have a license, he doesn't wear his glasses, and, you know, they're always sending the backhoe to transport him to get his groceries, in quotations. Yeah, still the weight is off, so let's see what happens here.
We can. I'm a star. We. Look at me. Hey, Joe Cronin. I hate Ken. Hey, Ken, I hate Joe Cronin.
He's approaching those fuel tanks. I'm not sure this is a good idea, Bullfrog. You might want to slow down.
Oh, come on. I know what I'm doing. Fuck you.
Okay, I'm just warning you.
Come on, Ken.
Look at the look at the look on his face. He's trying to act surprised. You're trying to act surprised, Bullfrog. This is your fault.
What do you mean? I'm just driving.
But you don't know how to drive. You don't have a license.
Oh, come on. I mean, know how to make frozen food.
That's not making food.
No, it's the same thing as driving. I don't do it.
Clearly you don't.
Can I have a snack now?
Bullfrog, we may have to fire you from the roster.
Oh, but I'm the biggest star. I'm the best pilot there is.
We'll talk about that. You can go and retire with your mountains of pop and frozen pizzas.
Oh, goody.
All right, well, let's retrieve Bullfrog since he's stupidly standing out on the runway. And we'll get the cloud card too that Bullfrog totaled. Good job, Bullfrog. And yes, we're going back to the drawing board to figure out how the fuck we're going to get these guys saved. So, let me just quit this here. Quit the main menu. And while that does that, I'll just go back to this here. And yeah, I still have to check exactly how long I've been going on for. I'm sure I've been going on for multiple hours. You can hear the frustration in my voice. Oh, not too bad actually. 2 hours 42 minutes or something like that. Disappointing to say the least. I mean, things worked out yesterday in the tests. So just it's so frustrating. So fucking frustrating. So hey, back to the drawing board. What can I do? But where there's a will, there's a way. And come hell or high water, those guys are getting off the fucking planet. It's as simple as that. It's just a matter of time. Oh, man. Do apologize for not being able to produce. That's like fucking for 2 hours and not be able to come. Not too satisfying. But it is what it is. What can I say? Now, just in wrapping up here, I do appreciate those that did show up to watch failure upon failure. And don't forget that tonight you have Foulmouth's Insomniac going on, I believe, usually around 9:30, 10 o'clock on the Foulmouth's Network channel. And I believe tomorrow there should be a No Hard Feeling, if not on Monday, on the Foulmouth's Network Patreon. And yeah, I'm not done with this shit yet. I'm not done at all. I'm getting these guys back. So expect me to do some more videos. Kerbal Community, obviously we got the rocket, Community Rocket going. We're going to have that stripper pole in use when we finally get it into orbit with all the Kommunity Kerbals. And we're going to, actually, that's going to be in orbit while we watch the reject rocket blast off into space and maybe crash into the moon or go into the sun or something. But that's the party ship, the Kommunity rocket. So that'll be popular with all different sorts of people from the community, and should be a gay old time, as they used to say before the homosexuals co-opted the word gay. But yeah, that should be fun, I think. And if not, fuck you. I'm gonna have fun anyways. I'll probably end up playing more Apex Legends with Nick. Well, no, I will. But maybe you'll see me play. Maybe you'll see me once I actually get good. To play on my channel and stuff. Do a stream that way. I don't know. I'm a little stoned, a little tired. You know, not pleased. Not pleased with my performance today, to be honest. So, we're going to leave it there. Hope you guys have a great Saturday night. A great weekend. Fuck the cold. Fuck COVID. Fuck Joe Biden. And fuck Scott McKinnon. And on that note, I hope you all have a great night and pleasant tomorrow. Oh yeah, more